So, this new Tomb Raider, it's all about an origin story. It's a reimagining of an iconic franchise. It's been around for 15 plus years. Our goal is to take you back to the very beginnings and present a character which you'll see a very different side to. A side to that we hope that you'll have an emotional attachment to as you play through the game. So at the beginning of the game, we will tell a very small story about how Lara Croft is going on her very first adventure. She's 21 years of age, she's straight out of college, she's ambitious, she's gritty, she's determined, she has some of the attributes that we know will help her become and define that Lara Croft character. And she's going looking for the lost fleet of the Kublai Khan, which is located off the east coast of Japan. And within 3 days, she gets hit by this mysterious storm and shipwrecked on this island. And that's where we pick the game up at the very beginning. So our goal with Tomb Raider from day one was to make sure that we didn't throw the baby out with the bathwater. We wanted to reimagine the franchise, but we also didn't want to go down a path that started to veer away from ultimately what we were, and that was a very unique experience and a very successful experience.
One thing we decided to do early on was come up with a unified location. So instead of globe-trotting, which you'd have in most traditional Tomb Raider games, this adventure is taking place pretty much in one location. That was a conscious decision that we made to really help ground her and make her feel that she's more surviving the story. Instead of being an active participant, she's reacting to the situation.
So the three pillars that we kind of looked at, which defined what a Tomb Raider game was all about, was that smart, resourceful Lara, which in the past was all about kind of the puzzle solving, which we try and move away from now.
We're moving away from the grand levers and something that you'd feel maybe is more fantastical, and trying to make devices and things that you'd have to manipulate more grounded in real-world physics, something that's a little bit more relatable, like the relationships of fire and water. Those things are really driving a new approach that we think is going to be exciting and fresh to the modern gamer, yet something that you can believe is a part of the Tomb Raider franchise.
The other side to it was exploration, which is now dynamic traversal, and it's truly giving the player the opportunity to have some freedom and movement inside of our hub spaces. And also combat, which right now we're not going to talk too much about combat.
One of the things that we focused on as a group was to really bring cinematography into the gameplay. We wanted the story to come through as we progressed in the game, in live experience. So the cameras are not just your standard video game style cameras. We really wanted to make sure they reinforce the action. So in the demo that we're showing, Lara's in this very claustrophobic space. So the cinematography was such where we wanted to bring the camera closer, really make you feel that claustrophobia.
So one of the biggest things that we tried to achieve at the very early outsets of telling an origin story was redefining who our character was. There are certain traits throughout the game that you will remember from old Tomb Raider and Lara games. Our goal is that at some point in time you put the controller down and feel like this is still Tomb Raider, this is still Lara Croft, only it's for my generation. So although we're not going to go into too much detail right now, we will say that there's certain things that the Tomb Raider fans will look back and appreciate, but we're certainly not going to pay homage just to things because we feel like we need to. We want to try and break that mold and tell a very new and fresh story about a character that some people will feel completely different, but will turn into the infamous character that we want it to be. So we may not be going into some of the background story that people remember, and we also won't be at any point in time kind of bringing this game full circle to certain things and events that have happened in the past. This is a completely new, unique, and fresh take on the Tomb Raider franchise.